We all have great plans for creating awesome classes for our students, but sometimes we get totally overwhelmed with the amount of content we need to teach. I'm going to show you some quick back-to-basics tips so you can get that awesome class started and engage your students. Hi, I'm Karen Teely, a teacher and instructional designer. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for frequent updates and tips for teaching. With more and more content to include, it's hard to know where to begin to design. I find it very helpful to fall back on the basic instructional design principles by Gagne. He proposed 9 instructional events called conditions for learning. They are a time-tested sequence to follow for engaging your students and making teaching and learning fun. Here are the steps with some key talking points. To illustrate these steps, follow along with me as I design a class on preventing violence. This class is for students in a baccalaureate community health nursing course. Whether or not you're teaching this exact content, you will find the application of these steps helpful for any topic. For creating a new class design, I find it helpful to start with a blank PowerPoint slide deck. This is especially helpful when I have more than one lesson to prepare. Then, when I'm done with my initial outline, I have a course design template that I can use over and over to create other lessons. I'll put a link to this template in the description box below so you can have access to this and then create your own. I have already built out this course, but I'll walk you through how I completed this design. I started with the blank template and then added images and content, so let's begin. The first step is to gain their attention. For example, did you know that homicide is the #1 cause of death in pregnant women? Now, this should get their attention. Next, let them know what they're going to learn. Today, we're going to look at violence as a public health problem. Keep your objectives clear and let them know where you're going to lead them. The next step is to stimulate recall and remind them of what they already know. Remember last week when we discussed primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention? Well, violence is preventable too. The fourth step is to present your information. This is where you include your content, and this is where it's important to implement the remaining steps of Gagne's principles. Otherwise, your presentation can become just a big information dump. The next important step is to provide guidance. This can take many forms, but for this example, I will use a case study. A case study is a great way to integrate the content into real-world application and give the students a context to apply the content. Other examples of guidance could include checklists, mnemonics, metaphors, or films, and other ways to help the students make connections with the content. Steps 6 and 7 is to elicit performance and provide feedback. This is really important and often skipped when we perceive we don't have enough time. Students need an opportunity to practice new concepts in a safe environment. Problem-solving scenarios or SimLab practice is an ideal way to elicit performance and have the students work with each other. I use small breakout sessions in the classroom to problem solve as a group. This is a great way to give the students practice, not only with applying the content, but on working with realistic teams. And then this becomes an opportunity to provide feedback. Let them know how they're doing in the moment and how they can improve. Students value your expertise and benefit from your immediate feedback. Step 8 is to assess their performance. This will encourage retention of new information and to prove they met the objectives. Periodic tests help students chunk information for longer-term recall. The last step in Gagne's conditions for learning is to provide opportunities for retention and transfer of information. For nursing students, ask them, how would they use this information in clinical? Or, how does this apply to their vulnerable population? Help them connect the new content to scenarios they are likely to encounter. So that's it, 9 basic steps to make your classes exciting and relevant. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leave your questions and comments below. Thanks for watching.